win.
So the original idea that people start businesses with, the ISA podcast and this whole brotherhood idea, it did not start with it originally started different. I'm gonna tell that story one day later when we get where we need to get, but it did not start as this.
That's not the goal.
This was not the original goal. What I'm doing right now is not the original goal, but it morphed into that because I saw something from the blueprint of my idea. Whoa, this is the blueprint. We can use it for this. That's how it came. But you need to start somewhere, right? A lot of people think you need to have a finished idea in your head, and if it's not finished, then I cannot do anything with it. No, you just need to start somewhere, and along the way, you're gonna see things, and because you're busy with the materials, you get smarter, you research things about it, and then you start linking things in life of other businesses, of other professions, like, hey, we can do this. But the only way you come to that point is if you take the initial step to start something.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you cannot figure out, do you think that the guy who invented the toilet refresher, do you know how, did you think he just, a lot of people say, well, how did I not invent such a thing? The toilet refresher, because that guy became a millionaire, right?
Yeah.
And they always say, well, if I would come with such an idea, I would be a millionaire. No, that guy, he worked in the toilet industry. He was a salesman there. He worked in the toilet industry. That's how he came up with the idea. The guy who invented the foldable sea container for ships. Normally, a sea container is big, right? But he created what we call a foldable, so you can stack them more. So you can now move more logistical. The guy who invented it was in the industry. So
it's all about the process.
It's all about these guys do not sit on their toilet, take a shit, and then one day wake up and this is the idea. Dude, this doesn't work like that. Or you wake up, you sleep, and then one day wake up, eureka! Dude, they try to tell you that maybe on TV or in movies, but that's not the reality.
In reality, it's something different.
Yeah. So you fall in love with the process, right? So if you look at the process, it's just my ideas, for instance, right, and your ideas, which we'll get to, is let's take you for an example, Rares. You started just with what you said. I want to get somewhere in life. That was the main thing, right? It was not even leadership or what. You don't want to be mediocre. You don't want to be a nobody. And from there you started, and then you figured your way into leadership, and now you're here. 1 year ago, 2 years ago, you would never imagine you would be sitting here. But still, you're here.
Yeah. When you said about Steve Jobs and the others, I've been thinking about my own process, my fulfilled goal.
Please tell me a little bit more about that. Okay, can you tell me about how your process then was, right? And before we do that, let me just do some introductions, right? So hi everybody, welcome to the ISA podcast. We are here in Romania. This is again a new edition. I'm here with a guest again. His name is Rares Moldovan. He's the one I did the first podcast with here in Romania. And say hi, man. And now after 1 year, I'm back here and to see how he's doing. We're in the beautiful location here called Upplace in Cluj Napoca with a lovely vendor who is giving us all the space to perform our activities here, which we are very, very appreciative of. And especially also the Romania and Cluj community who has welcomed us here with open arms, and we would like to thank the community here for that. Also the entrepreneurs, the people, everybody here who supports the brotherhood. Thank you for all these things that you guys have been doing for us. And for sure, we will not forget. Definitely, we will not forget. That's not in our DNA, and we are very appreciative of that. So today, I'm actually going to do a little bit of a, how can we say, checkup to see if I made a mistake or I made a very good decision. So let's try to figure that out. And I have no idea, so I'm going to be just as surprised as you guys are. Today we're also going to talk a little bit about MDW5 with Rares Moldovan. I didn't tell anything about it. I didn't tell anything to him about it. And the reason why I'm going to tell this to him, because I'm pretty sure he's going to use it in his practice. So that's why I didn't tell him anything today about what we're going to talk about, because I really wanted to see his honest response. Outside of that, we do have some partners. I would like to mention our partners here in Upplace, Romania. I just mentioned them just a little bit ago. A great partner. You can come here for your venues, weddings, birthday, kids parties. Rares, what do you think of the place?
Man, it's very nice. Like it's heavenly. I mean, I think that we should give a video to them. You know, with
A guide.
place, yeah, and with the outside, it's just heavenly.
All right, guys. So, hey, listen, we like to improvise. So, Rares had an idea. I think it's pretty good. So, we will give you guys an after tour. But we'll do it. We'll shoot it with the phone and we'll upload it on social media for you guys, right? And that way you can click the link and watch the full video and those type of things. But we'll put snapshots for you guys on social media.
You can thank me later.
Yeah, thank him later. So enough with the introductions. Rares, welcome again. Thank you again for taking your time to be here. So tell me, man, just start. How was this year, man? It's been a year. How have you been doing?
Man, it's been so many changes. Like last time when we spoke, I've been in Maxwell leadership, like coach and trainer, and this was very good because it gave me a start. But in this year, and I don't know, I think an year and amount, I've been realizing that if I go with my image, you know, not Maxwell leadership image, but Rares Moldovan image, I could give the people more value. Because it's not something that Maxwell leadership owns. It's something that I own and I create for them, and it's more personal in the process, you know.
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying is, you've outgrown your challenge. You need something new. You need to build your own brand. It's time to build the Moldovan brand.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
It's about being you. I have a website now, www.raresmoldovan.ro. There you can see just a bit of my programs, a bit of the people I work with, everything about my programs and how you can schedule into one of them, and some very good information that you can use for your own good for free.
All right. So have you now fully made the transition from working maybe for somebody else to for yourself, or you're in transition? Where are you currently?
You know, Maxwell leadership, it's not a job. It's just an organization that helps you to be where you want, to use the Maxwell name because they train you and they are very good trainers. But now I want to use my own name because my ideas are changed from the last year and now.
Okay. Okay. Well, what has changed then? What has changed in your ideas then? Good question. Let's follow up with that. You've changed. What has changed in your way of thinking?
In my personal ideas. Like, if before I had some ideas and some materials from Maxwell leadership, now I have my own materials based on some ideas of them, but 80% my ideas, you know, personal ideas for my experience, the books I read, the history of the people I work with and what worked for them. It's more personal and people feel that.
Yeah.
Like when we start a training for, I don't know, 6 weeks, I said, okay, I'm Rares Moldovan, I want to be your guide, and I'm very sure that we are going to be a very good job together. And they are like, okay, he's not John Maxwell's guy, he's Rares Moldovan.
Yeah.
I can get along better with you, Rares Moldovan, because you're Romanian, you are more personal.
It's a better fit.
Yeah, it's a better fit.
It's a better fit. All right. So, I like this. So basically, if I translate this freely, correct me if I'm wrong. You just you learned the program, but you now made the program your own. You took what you like, you left what you didn't like, and you adjusted it basically to your market, so that it would fit your market.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that's a wise man, right? You learn from. So I think, was this because you found some struggles, or you walked into some problems that you decided to do this, or was it just? It's just time. This is the next step.
Yeah, it's about the decision, you know. Okay, now it's my time to grow.
Yeah.
It's time to not use someone's other name. It's time to use mine.
You want your own brand.
Let's go. Let's see what's happened.
Right. For the people, can you reiterate to them again your age and those type of things? Because last year, things changed. People may not know you, So for one, can you just introduce yourself just to the camera one time? your name, your age, and what you do.
All right. Hi guys, hi again. My name is Rares Moldovan. I have 25 years old now. Last year, if you can guess, I had only 24. And now I'm a trainer and coach. I'm trainer by myself for the people around Romania now. And one interesting update, I'm a national trainer for Allianz Syriac for all the people that work in sales. I train them, they have their opening, their welcome program with me and the other programs for communication, products and everything. Like, it's very good now. And yeah, let's watch for what happened next.
All right, okay. Good with the introductions. That's pretty good. So let's see. So in a year time, a lot of things changed, and the reason today why we're here, that's what I really want to explain to the people at home, is that I have a foundation which is called the FM Foundation, and that foundation is in the Netherlands responsible for helping young men achieve certain goals and skill sets. Because it's my firm belief that the base of society is men. There's nothing to do with females or what, but I think the base, hard labor jobs, a lot of things are run by men, right? So what we need in society is to keep those men strong, right? Because they're the backbone of society. You know, who's going to clean sewers? Who's going to do all these things, right? So if we have a decline in production there, it's going to be a problem for society. And what we are doing here right now, and also in Romania with the FM Foundation, is finding those young guys, not even young, they can be 25, they can be 30, that are willing to go that next extra step. And the reason why I want to talk with you about all of this is because I think you're very close to the young guys, because you're 25, you're literally in the middle, and at the same time you can make that connection with maybe an older generation. That's the reason why I invited you in here in the first place. And today, we're going to have a little bit of surprise also today, guys. We're going to give away something, and me and Rares will do that together, and we'll do that at the end of the show. I will not tell you yet what it is, but it will be the blueprint of what we're going to do here in Romania. And this is going to be something unique. This has never been done in Romania at all. So we're going to be the first one who's doing it. So
it's very nice of you, man, to build something like that in another country, not yours.
Very nice. You know why I did that? It's because that is the main reason I travel, right? So the main reason I travel the world is because I look at countries and see what they have, and I see what they don't have. So what they don't have, I like to bring, and what they have, I'd like to export. Mm-hmm. So
it's about the need.
Yeah, like you did with the John Maxwell team, right? It's simple. You like what you export, and what you don't have, you build something of your own, right? Yeah. So that's the basics of the idea, and I think Romania is a perfect country. And the reason why I say that is because, in general, people here in this country work pretty hard. I'm not talking everybody you know, but in general, it's pretty high. Education level is also pretty good, and you guys have one thing that makes this country pretty unique to almost any other European country, and that is the level of religion here. People here are pretty religious, like a 90% approval rate on religion. So that means that there are certain basic values here are instilled in this society. And it is my firm belief that the only way you can build long-term wealth, like long-term, is if there are core values. What are borders we cross and what are borders we don't cross, right? If that playing field is transparent and everybody knows that, okay, now we got something. Now we know where we can move and where we cannot move. If there are no boundaries, then you're always going to be on edge of things, and you're going to create social issues at the end, because you're going to have too many different opinions in one country. And once you have too many different opinions in one country, what you get fractions. And once you get fractions, you get opposing ideas, you get cults, then they go distinguish themselves with the way they wear clothes or the places they go. And once you get that level of division, it's really hard to unite that once again. Because now people have certain interests, economical interests, businesses, then it's hard to fuse them back again. But you guys, because you guys have religion, that's something that keeps you a little bit stable, But Western influences can mess that up, you know? And this country is still Eastern Europe, but as you know, it's becoming more and more and more Western European. So the reason why I'm here is because this country still has a chance to, at least on a micro scale, let's say here in Cluj, avoid that to a certain extent, you know? You can have the same level of wealth, but if you just keep your core values, you will actually have a better model than the West. That is why Romania is interesting. The only reason why I think Romania is interesting is because it has the potential to become a better society than a Western country could ever be, because there are core values instilled there. So that's why Romania. Does it make sense?
Yeah, that's an advantage to be like 25 or 50 years back. Because when you live in the past, like we are here from America, from I don't know, England, everything. You live with some old values that help you to go where you want, actually.
Yeah.
To be where you need to be.
Exactly.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, that's the way I thought about it. And I also wanted to fire something at you. I'm going to release another show soon that is about my formula called MDW5. And I'm just going to live. I already done the session. I just still need to publish it. It's very good. It's also going to be my second book that I'm writing right now, which I almost I'm halfway, so 75%, which I'm going to publish in 2025.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
32? Yeah. And the second book already?
Yeah. I'm writing my second book. Yeah, I have a lot to say, man. I have a lot to say.
That's a thing.
Yeah, so in that book, it's called MDW5. That is my formula. And I wanted to give it to you because I think for what you do, it's going to be a great advantage in the sector. And because I'm going to make it a small explanation for you. Later down the line, we'll go a little bit deeper into it. But I created a formula, basically. It's called MDW5, which stands for motivation, discipline, willpower, and the 5 people around you. I'm going to give you the shortened version. Yeah, the longer version, I'll explain to you another time. And the reason why I started with the M of motivation is, you heard it a lot, right? When I did my research on motivation, Rares, countless books you can find, public speakers, right? The list is endless, right? Of literature, of name Tony Robbins, John C. Maxwell, you can go on, right? Go on the list. And never ever have I truly found a real tangible definition of motivation. Every time when we talk about motivation, it's about, you just need to be motivated. You only can hang around with motivated people, right? But the thing is, motivation, you can create that. Because I never could figure out a way to find actually what motivation was. It was up to me to discover what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
So there was no other way. I had to discover what is motivation. Yeah, you can give a definition. Yeah, somebody who is in a state and wants to do something, I guess, right? If you keep it really simple. No, not from a dictionary standpoint, but just somebody wants to do something. Okay, but how do you get to that point? That's the question. How do you get to a point that I want to do something? So I figured out motivation actually is a physical and mental state which you need to be in. And it consists of 2 things. And we're going to go to a molecular level here. So a man has testosterone in his body, right? That is pretty unique to a man. Women also have testosterone. What we have it 10 times more in 10 times more quantities than females have. And that's what makes us unique as men, testosterone. That's the main key component. And guys who have low testosterone, they have what we call a low competitive drive. They don't have an urge to fight, right? What testosterone in your body does, it gets you up. Listen, I'm not going to lose to you. Don't want to be second place. I'm going to fight. You're not going to take my girlfriend. It gives you the fight response, testosterone, right? It gives you the will to fight. So that's first of all. If you don't have any testosterone, you don't have any competitive edge, how can you be motivated?
Yeah, right. Because you don't have that sense.
You don't have the internal biological urge to fight. So the first thing to solve motivation is to get testosterone. How do you do that? That's then the second question. How do I get my testosterone up? There's only one way. And that's what we call resistance training. So that can be biking, lifting weights, swimming, walking in the park, in your own bedroom pull-up bar, whatever it may be. Anything that puts your body to some form of physical stress that it needs to rebuild itself. If you do that, your testosterone will go up. If you do it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, your inner urge will start coming up to do something. You will have trouble sitting at home.
Yeah.
You will have trouble sitting on the couch. You will have trouble watching a movie because testosterone is high. And the good part about this, your sex drive is high. That's good. That means you know what also that does? It force you to talk to women. Because that energy needs to go somewhere, right?
You know, I think that could be the main reason for the men watching watching us, because they hear this information.
Yes, of course. You're probably right, because we are simple. But yeah, sex drive, because it enhances your sex drive. And when you're but it's not only the sex drive, but now you need to go talk with women. So guys who are socially awkward or whatever can't talk with women, who fix their testosterone, now they feel the urge to need to talk to women. And because the testosterone is high, they will keep talking to women, because even if they fail, you understand. But what will it eventually develop? Game. You talk to 10 women, you're gonna get better. You talk to 20 women, you're gonna get better. So it will enhance your life dramatically. Testosterone is the first component, right? The second component of motivation is called what we call dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that's in your head. It's not a hormone, it's what you call a neurotransmitter. And what dopamine basically does, it is a system that your brain uses to reward certain behaviors. For instance, you can get dopamine up through different ways. Let's say cocaine. That's a bad way to do so. But people who use cocaine, they get extreme amounts of dopamine level in their head. And you know what that does? So basically, that dopamine does not enter the head. It's in the bloodstream here. And because it's free, it gives you a sense of euphoria. I can conquer the world. This chick will love me. Any business I'll do, she will marry me. They have this invincible feeling, right? Mm-hmm. That's what we call the reward system your brain gives you.
The natural motivation.
Then it makes sure the glass is half full. You're very motivated to do something, right? Because you're instilled. So what you try to what you want a high dopamine level. And how do you get that, for instance? You do it by basically doing things you don't like. So let's say, that's a small explanation. There's more, but I'll give you the simple explanation. If you just clean your room and it's 8 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday, and you cleaned your house and it's then 9 a.m., you're like, whoa, already cleaned my room, showered, had food. It's 9 a.m., it's Saturday. You feel pretty good. Yeah. That's a small example of how you then feel, like dopamine-wise, right? Completing tasks is a dopamine increaser. So how do you get people who don't have a lot of dopamine? Listen, this is what people who have low dopamine say to you. Nah, it's not gonna work. I knew a friend who did it, but it also didn't work. The glass is always half full. You understand? Yeah. If dopamine is high, the glass is half empty, I'm sorry. When the dopamine is high, the glass is half full, right? So how do you increase dopamine? That's now the big question. You do it by stimulating the ability to learn. So let's say you have an unmotivated person, right? You all know this, we're all guys, right? You're a guy and your dad comes in. Oh yeah, why didn't you clean your room? And he's messed up, and I told you so many times, and you never listen to me, and you do nothing with, right? We all had that moment, right? Your dad goes through the roof. And then
at least 100.
At least, right? And then you never listen to me. But when you think about it, listen, Dad, why in God's name are you going to talk to an unmotivated person? He's sitting on your couch, he's watching TV, jerking off in his room, and eating chips. Of course, it doesn't matter what you say to him. He's unmotivated. When you're unmotivated, your mental barriers are up. It doesn't matter what you say, because nothing goes in. So what you want to do with dopamine is stimulate the ability to learn. Let them play chess. Learn them to play chess. Let them learn a new language. Let them get their driver's license. Run with them in the park. If you want to fix somebody's motivation, you need to do two things. You fix their testosterone, so get them into a form of physical exercise. Don't even talk about their problems they have right now. Maybe they're broke or whatever, but because you cannot have the conversation to better their life unless you first put them in a motivational state. If you're in a motivational state, now the information can come in. So just first say, we're not going to talk. Let's go physical exercise first. And the second thing, what do you want to learn? You want a new hobby? It doesn't matter how stupid it may be. You want to do painting? Let's do painting. You want to read a new book? Let's just, because when the dopamine gets up, the person is like, hey, I may be stupid, I may be fat, but I did clean my room. I did learn this. I'm not that stupid. Now, you know what they now have? Proof of concept. They have a proof of concept. We worked on the testosterone, so testosterone T plus D is M. Now we're motivated and the glass is half full. The physical and mental state is now here. The barriers went down, information can come in.
It actually makes very much sense.
You see? Yeah. So that's what people say, you just hang out with motivated people. No. Motivation is a certain mental and physical state. So you need to first put people in that state before you start talking with them. You cannot fix somebody's life when they're unmotivated. Because the opposite of motivation is U. That is LT, low testosterone, plus low dopamine is U, unmotivated. That is the opposite of the equation. So your job is to make sure that equation first becomes M, or my job, or whoever's job that is, right? So that's my main motivation. But what do you think about that?
I think about something very, very real. A lot of people said, okay, I'm around people which have money, which have motivation, which have success, but I'm still low. Why is this happening? I thought that if I stay around them, I can be successful. And now it really makes sense, because it's the external motivation. It's not for long term. It's just for short term. If you want to be successful, you need inside motivation.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So now we have a definition for motivation.
Yeah.
You see, it's finally we got it. It was always that for motivation. No, you can create motivation, because a lot of youngsters, they don't know. They say, yeah, but I don't see it. I know why you don't see it, because you're not in a motivated state. Mm-hmm. So for all my students, what I did, I always, when they came to me for internships, you know what I always did? You see how I treat my camera guys and everybody. I say, you're fat.
Yeah, exactly.
But I say it with guys in that way. Guys, I don't say it to women or something. Listen, I just say it with guys I have trust with. I say, listen, start working out. I don't tell them why. I just say to them, go work out, whatever. We need to run in the park, go. And then after 2-3 weeks, hey man, actually feel pretty good. What are we gonna do? They stay 1 hour later for work. They come half an hour earlier. I say, okay, read this book. Or read this. So then the motivation starts kicking in, right? Okay, but you know this too. Motivation is temporary. It's not gonna forever last, right? Because it's a temporary physical and mental state. If we want to keep that, we need to be disciplined. But what is discipline? Again, I went through the literature. Tony Robbins, John C. Maxwell. Well, you just need to be disciplined. You just need to do whatever you need to do when you need to do it, even if you don't feel like it. Yeah, okay, but how do I get disciplined? You just need to hang around with disciplined people. In the end, there is no real definition for discipline. It just says you need to do what you need to do, even if you don't feel like it. But again, what does that mean?
You know, like in church, trust, but do not research.
Yeah, trust, but do not research. Dude, give me an explanation. Okay, this is the explanation. M, motivation, so because it's a continuous process, right? So M plus fear is discipline. You might say, fear? Do I need to be fearful? You teach us to be hungry lions, we're going to conquer the world. No, don't get me wrong. Fear is a necessary component to be disciplined. You want to know why? If you don't feel the urge, I'm going to lose my wife, I'm going to lose my kids, I'm not going to be able to provide for them, I don't want to upset my parents, I don't want to be a up. I don't want to lose my friends. If you don't have that fear, you'll not perform. Fear is a very good motivator. You'll be motivated by force or by fear, right? Yeah. Society will force you to be motivated. Rares, why, honestly, I just want your honest answer on this. Why do you think most people in the morning stand up and go to work? What do you think is the main reason that they get out of their bed and wake up and go to work?
Because they are afraid of not losing what they have.
They're afraid they cannot provide for their family. So they're afraid. They don't go to work because they like it. No, most people don't like their job.
Unfortunately, man.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So the reason why most people get up is a fear. It's not a inspiration, it's fear why they stand up. But look at this. I gave you the example of the father that came into the house and gave the big talk to the kid who was on the couch, right, doing nothing with his life. You want to know why that speech doesn't work? If you, I'm going to, wait, before I'm going to give you an example of one of my students, yeah? One of my students, he was motivated, he made money, you know, we got him to the next level, he went from like 500 to 2K a month, and he was doing good, and at the end of the month, he had no money. And he kept coming back, and he said to me, hey man, I'm making money, but at the end of the month, it's gone. I said, well, all right, because he thought now he was the man making money. You know how this goes, right? You get a little bit arrogant. And then I had to talk with him. I said, hey, listen, man, but he was motivated, right? The glass is half full. When you use fear on motivated people, you know what happens? Because when you're motivated, you can see where you can go. If I now give you fear, listen, dude, there are other people competing for your spot. This is not going to be it for you. If you don't step up, this is what's going to happen to your father, mother, brother. You said you're going to be the one to provide, right? Well, if you don't wake up, don't be wise with your money, what happened? He got fearful. That fear kicked him to be disciplined. But fear only works on motivated people. It does not work on unmotivated people. You want to know what is the other part of the equation? So M plus F, fear, is D, discipline. But M, or U in this case, unmotivated, plus fear equals paralysis. If an unmotivated, the reason why that kid didn't get up from the couch and started working or changing his life when his father gave him that rant was because he was unmotivated. He already thinks he's a shit guy. Can't do anything, good for nothing. My dad doesn't love me. Look who I am. And now you reinforce that. You're only gonna do this.
You freeze.
You freeze. So the problem gets bigger. Never tell people who are unmotivated about how bad they are. Because the only thing you will do is you will increase the problem. The reason why I can say to all to my guys, yo, you're fat, go to the gym, because they're all motivated. If I use that, listen, dude, if next year you didn't lose that weight, you're not gonna be in this crew, bro. Yeah, but your guys are my friends, we're gonna go somewhere. I don't wanna lose my friends. What happens? They lose the weight. You see?
Guys, I really think that this solution, it's really gonna work. Just leave a comment about what you think about this. It's a very interesting subject. And you know, I think that it's very good that we have this conversation because they didn't realize it until now. And every time they try to go running and after that put their ideas in some position, they will say, I'm lazy. Okay, let's check one more time this podcast to see what I have to do.
Yeah.
Let's be there.
And that's the thing. What I'm trying to teach here with guys is, listen, even if you're unmotivated, we can fix that. If you're not disciplined, we can fix that, right? These are not unfixable things. This is not something you're born with. Yes, you can have a more natural talent for it, yes, but it's not something that is definitive and this is it. You can fix motivation. Only thing, okay, resistance training, learn something new. Okay, now I'm motivated. Glass is half full, right? Glass is half full. Okay, now he can see the path. Now I'm gonna tell him what's gonna happen if he doesn't do the work. Because now there's light at the end of the tunnel. That means it's the same like this, Rares. Okay, Rares, I have a lottery ticket for you, yeah? And that lottery ticket is 5 million. But I'm gonna give it to you now. But the only way you can get that money is if you're gonna cash that lot within the 20 minutes and go to the store. How fast will you get there?
Because
Like a rocket.
Fear of loss, right? You have something and you're going to lose it. That is the same state, right? If you understand that, hey, I actually can get there, I'm motivated, and now I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen if you don't do those things, that will create discipline.
Yeah, exactly.
That will create, so motivation plus fear is discipline. Now, so fine, now we're motivated, now we're disciplined. Now we build the Ferrari, right? We're motivated, we're disciplined, but now we're only driving the Ferrari. We don't have a destination. And that's the biggest problem. Most people there are people who get through life and they're just motivated and disciplined, but they never figure out why. So that you have a car is all nice, but listen, do you think people in Africa care about your Ferrari? They want food. So depending on where
the motivation.
Yeah, depending where the Ferrari needs still a destination. You can have a Ferrari and drive around in your Cluj, and then what? So what? People are going to look at you, and then nothing is going to happen. A Ferrari is nice, but the car, the motivation and discipline is just the body. Now we need a goal, and that's willpower. And willpower for me consists of 5 things, right? 3 theoretical parts and 2 practical parts. I'll start with the 3 theoretical parts for you because they're a little bit difficult. So basically, I created 3 questions for everybody. If you're able to answer these 3 questions for yourself, I personally think it's pretty hard to even need a psychologist or psychiatrist, to be honest. You can fix yourself any day. And the first question you need to ask yourself is, if I die and when I die, how do I want people to remember me? It's a very philosophical question. People might say, is this religion or something? No, you don't need to be religious. But the reason why I say that is this. When I was 18 years old, this is a true story. My uncle died. It was very sudden. It was a very sad moment in my life, but one of the most inspirational moments in my life. At this man's funeral, in Islamic traditions, it's normal that you bury somebody the next day, within 24 hours. And the reason we do that, that's important for us. So imagine this. It's a Wednesday. This person dies, and the next day on his funeral, you see a couple of thousand people. Well, I was there on the cemetery, and I have multiple verifiable sources for that. The cemetery was totally full. Think of the biggest cemetery you know, it was full. And I was looking there, and I was standing on a hill with my cousin. His dad died, you know. I was looking, and at the same time, I was sad, but at that moment, I realized something. I was like, if this man did not do anything good in his life, why would all these people show up for his funeral? So I came to a conclusion and realization. The way you die and how many people show up at your funeral is a big indication of how you have lived your life.
Yeah, exactly.
If nobody comes to your funeral, that says a lot about you. So how do you want to die? Do you want to be the guy who nobody gives a shit and dies there, or you want to have something beautiful where everybody... And it was a working day, bro. Everybody took off. A couple of thousand people took off to come to somebody's funeral.
That's nice, man.
Do people even understand that? I was like, okay, wow, this is impact, my friend. It had nothing to do with money. It had nothing to do. It was a school principal. He was not this great guy, but it was the impact he had on his community. So the way you die is very important. So ask yourself this question: if you're young, or 25, or 30, or 35, when you go, whatever that may be, how do you want your loved ones to remember you? That's a good one. Second one. Because now we know how the book is going to end. If we know if the destination is Paris, now we can calibrate the Ferrari, the navigation system, to go to Paris.
You got to start with the end.
Yes, you got to start with the end, because then you know where to drive to. Because the thing is, if you have a destination, you limit your options of what you can choose. And that's a good thing, because human beings are not good when giving a lot of options. So if you limit your options, you can leave a lot of the behind. If you want to be remembered as a caregiving guy who was great for his community, but right now you're a selfish son of a, you know what? Then those 2 don't align. Or you want to help people, then go into industry where you help people. Become a coach, go into the medical field. It will help you with career choices. What type of a person do I want to be? If you want to be a leader, okay, let me go into, I want to be captain of a soccer team. I want to be captain in this. So you need to go into a profession where leadership is the key component. So first, figure out how you want to go. That will help you along the way with which choices of professions you will take, which type of wife or partner you would like to take. Because if you don't know the end of the book, you're just going to do random things. And then, I didn't want to do that. Because later on down, you figure out you totally want to go somewhere else. And you've maybe gone into a road you never wanted to go in. You went into a lawyer field, but you wanted to die as a person who wanted to work in the medical field. You see? So that's what that will do. The second thing is, who am I, right? That's the question you have all the time in your practice. Who am I? Well, we don't need to go into that very deeply, but you know that most people are not themselves, right? And if you know who you are, that's great. You want to know why? Then we have the starting point. The Ferrari is now in Cluj. We need to get the Ferrari in Paris. Great. We know who we are. We know where we need to go. Now we just need to do the middle.
You know, I have a very interesting mean to interpret this thing. Like in my courses, I said we have too many shops for too many masks that we can wear.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
It's strong, but it's true, and it's very sad.
It is very sad.
You don't realize as a man that if you are true, you are real, anyway you are, you're gonna be more respected, you're gonna have more success, because these days, people want what's true. They want the truth. They want to see the original you. All right, man, you can stay like that if you want. You can stay like that. You can watch the walls. You can do anything because I want you as you are.
Exactly, exactly. And that whole clown act of acting somebody, it's not working anymore. People are wise, they see through it. And they hate that. And that's the thing with willpower, right? So you have the beginning and you have the end, right? But then now comes the third question. And this is the hardest one. Because the third question, most people are never able to answer. Now, but let me tell you why. Why are you the way you are now?
Because my parents made me like that. That's the most common answer, you know?
Right. They say that, yeah, because of my parents, because of this. And this is my thesis on this. It's my personal belief, Rares, that most of the trauma you have experienced in your life comes from the first 18 years you were alive.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And that forms you for the rest of your life, basically, right? But if you're not at peace with that, it's like driving a Ferrari without maintenance. If you don't know who you are, you're a ticking time bomb. It's a matter of time before your car is going to crash. Because how many times have you not heard? People are 50, 60. They go to see a therapist and they talk about instances when they were 18, 16, 12, 9, maybe 7. Let me give you a personal example of my own story. It's just as an illustration. When I was 14 years old, I remember this to the day. That's 18 years ago. I remember this at that moment until this day. I was in high school, and it was lunch break. Let's say 12 noon, afternoon, lunch break, half an hour lunch break. And we're in the cafeteria, you know, the cafeteria where everybody is, right? And we're just friends, you know, hanging around. And we're like this game. Hey, what do you have on? I have a Tommy jeans on. I have this jeans on, and that was my turn. And I had no brand on, right? So I was I have clothes, you know. I have no Prada. I have no nothing. But I remember that day very well because in that moment I felt like I was not insecure, but I did feel a little bit inferior. I was 14 back then. I still remember that day. One lunch break. It was one lunch break on a random day when I was 14 years old. I still remember that day. Why? It was not, dude, who cares what you were wearing when you were 14? Nobody cares. But I did. And there's also instances in your life where you did, and he did, and he did. And if you don't feel at peace with that, that's going to influence your future decisions. And it's going to mess you up, and it's going to make you emotional decisions. If you don't, listen, maybe you have sexual abuse. Maybe your parents were not good for you. Maybe your father was shitty. Maybe your father wasn't there. Maybe your mom. I don't know what has happened in your life. But whatever it is, my friend, be at peace with it. Because if you're not at peace with it, it doesn't matter if you have the Ferrari, bro. You're going to be 15, you're going to do drugs, and then it's going to be over again. Or you're going to make stupid decisions and drink alcohol. Then you have worked so hard, and in the end, the car still crashes. Just before you want to reach Paris, your car breaks down. So that's why you need to figure out question number 3. It's to solve past issues. And it's basically standing in the mirror, in front of the mirror, naked, figuratively, and really addressing, okay, what happened? And if you're at peace with that, now you have the 3 questions answered. You know where you want to go, you know where to start, and you know you have now a Ferrari with maintenance. That's good if you want to reach Paris, right? So those are the theoretical parts. It's very philosophical, right? But now you can build your life. Anybody can build his life. If you just know where to start, if you know where to go, I'm motivated, I'm disciplined, I know where the car needs to go, I know where the car starts, maintenance, now we have a chance to make it. Now let's go to 2 practical things. Because there's also 2 practical parts, right? It's not only theory. In the next 100 years, we will see 10,000 years of technological change. Meaning, in 10 years, AI will probably have replaced my job. So I can be now this high-flying podcaster, money, whatever, but in 10 years I'll be broke again. So if you think you're already there, no, my friend, you're not. Because technology is coming for your job. I can tell you this, there is in Japan, there's already a machine who cuts hair.
Oh my God.
This is a reality. There is a machine. Do you know how many barbers are here?
A lot.
Do you know that the machine can cut 24 hours, doesn't need sleep, can be open 24/7, can do it faster than you and cheaper than you? Why would I need you to cut my hair? So people don't think about, hey, listen, the world is changing. In the next 100 years, you'll see 10,000. A lot of people don't understand that. This modern world is maybe 2,000 to 4,000 years old, the modern world, I say it, right? We will see 10,000 years of change in just 100 years.
You said something very interesting, which I learned very, very late, I would say. To see yourself in the mirror naked, but not naked of clothes, naked of what the other think about you, what the others say about you, how the others see you. And I think that if you realize how you truly are and you act like you truly are, not just a mask, it's one of the principles that you have to apply in your life to not be replaceable. Because when you are true, you are not replaceable. Yeah, a barber shop with robots can replace me, but if I have a very good relationship with you, because I'm natural, I'm naked, the robot cannot replace me. You buy me, you buy the person, you don't buy the product, you buy the person. Make the others buy you. It's the most important thing, relationships.
Yeah, and that you're actually already making my point, because I'm trying to get there, the point you're trying to get it. So this is my advice for technological change, right? So you need to accept one thing first. You need to be an eternal learner. So part 4 of willpower is basically this. You need to be always learning. You need to always gain competencies. Learn English, writing, whatever it may be. You constantly need to be learning, because technology is coming for your job. Okay, let me give you an example. Nokia, you know Nokia, right?
Yeah.
Was once the biggest phone company in the world.
Strongest phones ever.
Strongest phones ever. Largest market share, largest revenue, largest profit. They dominated it totally. And then what happened? Then they stuck to their philosophy of small handheld phones. And 2 other competitors came, named Samsung and Apple. And what was their vision? Their vision was smartphones. But Nokia said, no, we're going to stay with those phones. A couple of years later, CEO gave a big press conference, basically announcing they would go bankrupt. And you know what he said in his final speech? And that was one of the most, we talked about this last time, right? But Nokia, again, is the example. You can be on the hill one top and the other day you fall off. So, but that is just technological change, right? You can literally be a billionaire and the next day your competency is no longer relevant in this world. So if you walk around this earth with this mindset, I know everything and I know all the skills, dude, it's just a matter of time before you'll be out of the game. The Range Rover is there, no, but the Range Rover will be gone in a couple of months because the money's not gonna come anymore. You're irrelevant. Your competency is now irrelevant. It was the same when we were hunting back in the days, right? And we figured out agriculture. 10 people would normally hunt and gather, and now just 1 farmer. Other 9 people were out of a job. Industrial Revolution, same thing. Information Revolution, same thing. Now, New Revolution, same thing. There's always a cyclical movement in there. So you need to be always learning. And this is what I say. You said being irreplaceable, right?
Yeah, you got to evolve, because the things you do are good now, but in 10 years, if you do not evolve, someone else is going to replace you. Yeah. But the good part here is that when you became that valuable, no one can take that from you.
And this is how I translate that. So you say valuable, this is how I practically translate this for young guys. If you listen, everything is a competence. So English, let's say speaking English is a competency, right? Training, looking good is a competency to me. Being well-versed is a competency. So there are a lot of different competencies you can have. This is my advice to people. The more categories of competencies you can get into the top 20% of, you'll automatically win. Because this is what's going to happen. When times get tough, or where technological change come, 80% of the people will need to do other things. Their job will be irrelevant. Because But the top 20% will need to manage that process or whatever it need to be. They're experts at their field. If you're in the top 20% of whatever you do, top 20, look at soccer players, right? Look at Manchester City if you're a soccer player. There are only 3 people there who weren't traded. Kevin De Bruyne, and it was maybe, I think, one of the strikers was not traded, and a central defender. Only 3 people. They are the top 20% of the 11. You see? If you're in the top, Messi does not get traded, but even Suarez got traded or sold. So you see that only the top 20%, doesn't matter which field, trainers, filmmakers, podcasters, finance people, those are the people who make the real money. And the other 80% that doesn't really. And they are the ones who are going to be replaced. So the more categories you as a person can get into the top 20% of, that will lead to competency, that will lead to accomplishments, that will lead to confidence, and at the end, money, status, respect, everything you want. And if you can get into top 20%, listen, depending on the industry, you'll make a lot or maybe a little bit less, but at least you'll be respected. You'll have a name. You'll definitely not be broke. That's the only thing you need to do. Get into top 20% of whatever you're trying to achieve. And the more categories you can do that in, your life will get just let's just for 2 years focus on this competency. Or 3 years. Let's get in the top. Okay, we got that now. Let's maintain it. Okay, let's find something else to get in the top 20% of it. Just do that for 10 years, 15 years. When you'll look back, dude, you'll have 6 to 10 competencies in the top 20%. Nobody's going to beat you.
And you escape of fear.
You escape of fear, right? You escape that cycle. So that's the key. You need to be internal. That's the practical advice, right? Gain competencies. That's the main thing. The more competencies you will gain, all the problems you're talking about, maybe that you have problem with women, problem maybe with social relationships or business, those will automatically disappear once you do this process. Because you need to understand where you first need to solve the problem, right? And now the 5th part. I know this is a long thing, but the 5th part is the fifth principle and the 2nd practical part, which we actually talked about for the show. You talked with me about a big idea, right?
Yeah.
Listen, you need to make use of other people, their competencies. Listen, God or whatever entity you may call it, did not give you the luxury and time to live 5,000 years to learn everything.
Yeah.
Right? You cannot learn 30 languages, probably 40 languages. That's not, but I know people who can speak French, Romanian, or leaders, have venues, you know. If you want to build so, this is what successful people always understood. It was never money. It was, you call it human capital. If you look at my phone, this is what I always say to young people when they're 18 or something. I says, open your phone. I said, this is why? Well, I said, open your phone. I said, go to your contact list. I said, why? I said, okay, go through it. I said, who's this guy? What can they arrange for you? Oh, nothing, he just smokes, just drinks, hangs out, jerks off, only goes to parties, not special. And they get scared of, nobody can actually arrange anything for me. Do you know a mechanic? Do you know an accountant? Do you know a lawyer? Do you know somebody who can fix your tire? Do you know somebody who can do gardening work? Do you know somebody captain of a football team? What is the quality of the people you know? I'm not talking about your friends, but your network of people you know. If you don't have people, I've been working obviously for a long time and other people of bettering that.
You know, that's a very scary moment when you look at your phone and you realize, oh my God, I don't know anyone interesting. What I'm gonna do?
Well, so this is the 5th thing you need to accept. Yeah. You need to build people around you. I call it the database theory, right? So basically what you and me daily do, every human does this. Information comes in, we simulate thoughts based on our experiences, competencies, everything, right? It goes through that, and then certain output comes out, right? So what you put in it, basically decide, you cannot put shit in it and then magically wine comes out of it, right? We're not Jesus or something, whatever, but it was water and wine, but I'm giving an extreme example, right? But you get the point, right? So if you simulate those thoughts and those competencies get better, obviously the results will get better. But now do that same example with 100 minds. And those same 100 minds look at the same problem, but all from a different perspective because everybody's different.
Man, that's why I talk about relationships. That's why I have courses and coaching about relationships. Because after me, it's the most important thing that we got to focus when we are thinking about a skill.
Yes, exactly. Skills is one. You begin with yourself, like every trainer should advise, begin with yourself. But after that, You need to have people around you that can arrange. Listen, if you look through my phone, there are a lot of good people in there, but I've been working on it for a long time. And why do you think people call me or call you? They call you because they know, okay, he might not know, he might not can do it himself, but he knows somebody who can.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you become valuable. Listen, as a man, your value in this life is decided by if other men respect you. If another man respects you to pick up his phone, okay, maybe I don't like him, whatever, but he is respectable. If I could call him, things get done. That's the level you want to get. You want to get at the level that guys start calling you. Hey, Rares, hey man, can you do this? Hey, can you help? If that is happening to you, then you know you are in a great position. That means you have value. When other men start asking you for advice, for things, but the only way those people will want to be in your contact list, because they're not going to give you your number right away, they will only give their number to you if you can provide what? Value.
Yeah.
That's why you need to work on your competencies first. If you get up, then you can attract better people. And then your number will be in their phone and their number will be in your phone.
And I want to say something very, very important here. I think it's the base of relationships. Do not get in relationships just for advantage.
Yes.
Get in relationships because you are a nice man, because you want to create something better, because if you don't, the others will feel you.
Exactly. If you don't provide value, if you're just as a tool or whatever, no, they need to understand you're a man of respect, a man of honor, you have certain principles. That's exactly that. Exactly, I totally agree with you. If you try to build a relationship on the premise of just what he can do for me, listen, when you're with a naive person, he maybe will buy that, or a poor person.
Question, what can I do for him?
Yeah, okay, there we go. And why are we here? We're here to do something for other people, right?
Right.
And because we do something for other people, what do we get in return? Probably some good things. Whatever that may be. If call it fate, call it God, whatever you want to call it. Money. Karma, I don't know. You can call it anything you want. I have no problems with that. But the result is probably something very good. So now we have we have the Ferrari, right? We know we know how to make the Ferrari with motivation. We know how to maintain the Ferrari. We know the destination of where the Ferrari needs to go. We know how it was made. We know how to not crash the car. We know that if we want to reach Paris, we need to put different tires on the Ferrari because the asphalt in Italy is different, right? We need new competencies and we also know that if we want to go there, we need a mechanical crew to make sure we reach our destination so they can fix the car. So that is in a car analogy.
It's about the team.
About the team.
In life, it's about the team.
Okay. And now we have my last part of my formula. And that is the 5. And the 5 stands obviously for the 5 people around you, right? And actually I botched the name. The original name of the formula was MDW6, but I made it 5 because it's 1 plus 5. You plus 5. That's why it's 6. And I've made... a lot of people say to you, you probably heard this. The 5 people you hang around with most, you're a reflection of those people, right? Okay, but now, has anybody told you what type of friends then they should be? What type of characteristics they should have? What does your team need to consist of now? And that's where the discussion now starts. They say, yeah, you just need to hang out with people who are successful or want to go somewhere. No. What you need is a crew that is very different from each other, but at the same time has one goal. So I made 6 personality types for people to involve in their life to get somewhere. So hear me out. The first one, obviously, the leader, right? If you look at characteristics, you need one friend you can be that person, or one of the 5 people you hang out can be the leader. It doesn't matter which part you play, but one. The leader obviously has a long-term vision, keeps everything together, and the further you can see ahead as a leader, so you have leaders who can see 6 months ahead, 1 year ahead. You also have leaders who can see 5, 10, 20, 50 years ahead. A life ahead, right? The longer you're able to see ahead, they can say this, right? If in Tokyo the stock market goes down, I know that in Ghana that will increase oil production. They can see that 5 years, and then that causes a downfall of the euro 2 years later in Europe, whatever it may be. That's what leaders do.
Just a simple example.
Just a simple example of how far you can see things, right? So the further you can see things as a leader, the bigger the plan you can make, the better you can guide them. The characteristics of a leader, they're calm decision makers, right? They don't panic, atypical, don't take bullshit, and generally speaking are very direct. So low in emotion and high in analysis. The great leaders have an analysis and creativity. That's a really tough combination because those two brain parts are conflicting. But most of the times they only have one. They're either very creative or they're very, they can analyze an idea very good and then come up with something. But if you're a great leader, you have probably 3 unique characteristics. You can see really far ahead, you're creative, and you have your way of analyzing things is on a very high level. Okay, then the second person you need to have is an executor. Somebody, that's the guy who says, okay, come on guys, what time? 9 a.m., you're late, why is this not done? Why you're fat, let's go to the gym. You need what I call an enforcer, somebody who runs the ship. The leader does not run the ship. The leader creates and thinks about the ship. The executor is the one who's running it.
Yeah, you know, the people think that the executor and the leader are the same person.
Totally different, totally different. Listen, the leader probably is gonna the company long term. You don't want him on the head of your daily operation because he's too creative. He needs to think about things, right? But you need somebody who keeps things going, right? Yeah. Who's going to set the agenda, make sure this has happened, paper, there are a lot of things that need to be done for anything to be created, right? It's not just the idea.
If the value of the leader is imagination, the value of the second guy, it's the making.
Execution.
The action.
The action, yeah. But without the executor, the leader is just going to make plans 10 years long and then nothing will happen maybe. So you need an executor. And what are the characteristics of an executor, right? No nonsense. Low emotion, pretty dominant character a lot of the times, right? Tough guy, you know, pretty dominant. And at the same time, hard worker and keeps everything in check. You need that type of guy around. You need that guy around you that says, go to the gym, bro. What the hell are you doing? You need that honest guy, that little bit of tough guy. The third person you need is what I call the heartbeat. The heartbeat is also the translation for that is the analytical guy. So basically, the leader creates the idea, but you need somebody to nitpick on the idea. This is not good. This is not good. We need to change this 1% here. These are what I call the analytic prowess people. They can look at something, dive into it. If you look at their characteristics, a lot of times they're introverts. They don't speak a lot.
Not very emotional.
Not very emotional. No, they are, but they have outbursts. Because they don't talk a lot, they don't have they don't vent their emotions. So when they get emotional, it's immediately an outburst, right? They just keep it in. Yeah, maybe that of their drink. You're like, where does this come from? You know?
I didn't think you can be.
Yeah, you can be like that, but those are introverts. Introverts a lot of times they don't say a lot, but you know what the good part is about the heartbeat? If you have an introverted friend, you'll probably recognize this. Because introverts are one of the nicest people you ever meet. So this is how it goes. Let's say I have a friend. My brother is an introvert, and a friend of mine is also very an introvert. So I just say randomly one thing, man, that messy shirt is that shirt is really nice. And then next year on my birthday, I get it from him. Those are introverts. They don't say it, they see it, they observe, and they just do it. So they show their love not by speaking, but by what they do. And introverts, you need them because they're so smart, analytical, but you need to understand how they operate, right? You need to understand how they move. You can work with them.
It can be very hard sometimes.
It can be very hard, but that's why you need him because he can find holes in your ideas that you cannot find. That is the problem. You as a leader see the big picture, but you lack details. That's the problem of most leaders. We're gonna go there. Okay, but how are we gonna fly there then? That's a lot of times the problem.
What's the next?
That's good, right? So we have 3. The fourth one is what I call the creator. In the end, you need somebody to create something. You need somebody who can create a formula, somebody who can create, in this case, let's say, a medical profession, who can create a medicine, who can create a car. You need somebody who can create a video. You need something to create a tangible product. Because in the end, you need a product. You need something to sell, right? If you have not somebody who can actually create from nothing to a programmer, can from nothing go to something, right? Somebody who can create, who has a farmer, who goes from nothing to something. You need somebody in the end who creates something, a creator. A creator is a translator of ideas, right? So a lot of the times, a leader and a creator are very close to each other because they have the same prowess of looking. Yeah. That's true. They have a similar process, but the problem is with the creator is this. a creator a lot of times is very disorganized, very high emotional highs and lows. So today they meet the girl, they're gonna marry her, and then 2 days later, oh, how's the girl?
You got to tell him what to do to not get lost.
Yes. So the problem is if you leave the creator with his own ideas, you're gonna go, yeah, it's gonna get too crazy, you know? So, but in the end, it is the creator, he needs somebody to create, you know? You cannot have all leaders and stuff. But if you look at his characteristic, he's a little bit more high in emotion, so that's hard to deal with, right? The emotional whoop, 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 whoop. You need to manage that as a leader, obviously. But that is the characteristic. Without a creator, nothing happens. Fifth, in the end, that is what I call the Joker. The Joker is the guy who can wear any mask in any room. This is the guy who's going to sell your product.
Yeah, the salesman.
Yeah, the salesman. He can be with CEOs who are 50, or can be with guys who are 18 from the street. Hey, what's up? And talk street language. That's a guy who can morph into anything. The advantage of the in this case the Joker is obviously extroverted, right? High in emotion, because you need emotion for the sales and everything a lot of times.
But well controlled.
Well controlled. The problem is with the Joker is loyalty a lot of times. Why should I sell your product? I can do it my own. Because they're pretty good at selling, right? Yeah. So, if you're able to convince a Joker, he will be invaluable to you. You can give him a great story. He can just go out and sell. So a Joker is important to you. It's also the guy who gets you into a weird club or, you know, the place you shouldn't be. You know, that's the guy who can talk his way into anything. You need that guy.
He's the top of the ice.
Yeah. In that case, yeah, he is. And then the sixth one is the last one, and that's what I call the X factor. That is what makes your group unique. There's always one guy who doesn't fit in any box. In every friend group, everyone just says he's just him.
It's like, you know, the most of people said to them that they are weird. You say,
yeah, weird. Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah, no.
X factor sounds better.
Yeah, I call it the X factor. For instance, I know this guy. He doesn't actually bring me any value in like a business sense, but he's this religious guy, and I just speak with him, and then sometimes he gives this religious statement, Rares. You know what happens then? I just analyze it through my business idea, and then it makes some type of sense. It makes no sense to anybody, but it makes sense to me, and that's all you need. Your X factor is for your group, you know, and what they do. So if you ask me, every group needs an X factor. You cannot put him in a box. He may not have great business value, but keep him around. You can be one of those six. But look at those characteristics now. Now comes the fun part. Leader, number one, low in emotion, high in analysis and creativity. Second one, low in emotion, executor, high in performance. Third one, low in emotion, high in analysis, can think your idea through. Now look at the last three. Creative, high in emotion, you see? High creativity, opposite. Joker, high in emotion, opposite. Yeah. X factor, opposite. Now you have a well-balanced team of emotions and characters. Yes. Let's say you're now 18 years old, and those are your 6 friends. My advice to you is this. Stay 10 years together, you probably have a lot of money. If all of you 6 do MDW5, you're all motivated, you all have discipline, you all have willpower, and you are one of those 5 friends, who's going to stop that?
You know, most probably the 18 or the 16 or the 17 or the 15, they don't have something like that. They have a group, but they are all...
But they know now what they can build.
Yeah, exactly. And it's very good that they hear this information and they can say, okay, let's find these 5 that I need. Let's see which one of them can I be and what I need else.
What I need else. And by the way...
It's great from now.
Yes.
And what I'd like to add to it, those 5 is a minimum. It's not a maximum. You can have 10. It's a principle. You can have 15. You can make the group as big as you want. But you need that is the minimum which you need. So imagine having 6 guys who have high testosterone, high dopamine, which means they're fucking motivated. They have a healthy fear that they don't want to become fuck-ups, so they're disciplined. They understand, okay, it's just a Ferrari. We need to have a calibration. I need to answer some of these life questions. How do I want people to remember me? Who am I? Why am I the way I am? I understand that technology is going to kill my competency, so I need to learn all the time. I know that my contact list needs to be good, or else nobody can arrange anything for me. And I need 5 people around me. You know what those 5 people around you are? those 5 people around you make sure you don't become a in life. They are your insurance policy to your Ferrari. That's what those 5 people are. They are the insurance to your Ferrari. That's the key. This is what MDW5 is. It's a simple principle. You can apply it in 10 years, 50 years, 100 years.
It's gonna be a worthy book.
You think so?
Of course.
Thank you. This is the reason why I wanted to throw this at you, because I think in your practice, you can use this easily, because it fits very well to what you do. What do you think?
For sure.
And I have a question. Which one of these 6 you think you are?
What do you think?
The executioner?
No, I'm number 1, the leader.
The leader.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm not good at details. Well, let me say this. You start naturally as 1. But along the way, when you get better, you take traits of all the other 5.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, right? So at the beginning, I just started as a leader, right? Just solely a leader. But I have my own business. I'm executing my own business, right? So you get traits from that. I'm in production here for podcasts. So you learn some of the creative side. I find holes in my own ideas. So I'm analytical about it. I need to sell my own products sometimes, because in the beginning, I didn't have salesmen. So I became the joker, right? And I had to be my own X factor and create something unique about me. So in the beginning, you're one thing naturally, I always say, and you train your other parts. But in the end, you want experts, right? So you rather have 5 people who are natural experts at what they are, and obviously you all get better at the other things.
And that's the reset for success.
For me, that I think is, well, it's not even, I don't call it even okay, this is my claim. I think if you do this, you'll minimally increase your life by 25%. And I'm talking about overall. Relationship, health, religion, family, money, friends. Because you just have a better outlook on life. You have testosterone in your body, you feel manly, you want to fight. You understand, I'm not that stupid, I can actually get somewhere, you know? You now finally, you saw the world like this. With MDW5, the world is now this. You just see more. You know, it's not that you're changed. It's just because you put on another glasses, now they're like, the menu just got bigger. And because the menu got bigger, now you see options. Now there's motivation. Now you can see a way out of there. And that's what young men need nowadays. It's not that there's no opportunity. It's what they have been taught in school and throughout their life is not working anymore, because times have changed. So we need to update what is success for men in 2024. The definition of success in 2024 is not the same as 1980. That is the biggest thing. And what we have is a lot of materials that come from 1980. No, we need new materials. That's why I'm here. We need new materials to build new houses, right? And to do that, we need to have street smarts, which we do here, I basically always say. And we need book smarts in the form of competencies, which we can finance, and get better. So what do you think is about the general concept of this? About how it was set up? Your first general idea about that?
I've been thinking that the whole idea of your project that brings people to the conclusion, okay, even if I'm not from a worthy family, a rich family, I don't have the best people around me, I actually can do what I need. I can do what I want because I have everything I need here. I just have to realize that. And after I realize that, okay, I'm gonna look for more options, more opportunities. Let's go for it. Let's increase my dopamine, my motivation.
And from there, the new ideas flow.
Yeah, exactly.
I told you in the beginning, right? And this idea didn't start as this. It started somewhere else, but we have, like you said, motivation, dopamine, right? And then, hey, glass is half full, ping, 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 ping. And then all of a sudden, it made sense.
Yeah.
But it really starts somewhere. And if young guys, with this blueprint, young guys understand, okay, I'm unmotivated now, but I can fix it.
Yeah.
I can fix that. I'm not disciplined. Now there's finally a fix. There were no real for willpower and those type of things. There were no real definition. Everybody just gave their definition. Or discipline or motivation. There were all their own definitions. But if you honestly go to the core of how you create it, then you can come to a definition. I know how I can create motivation. I know how I can create the discipline. That's why I think I can define it. And this is the problem. Most books are like this, motivation book. This is what I really discovered, Rares. This is what I really discovered. Motivation, discipline, willpower, and the 5 people around you, everybody thinks those 4 things are separate things. If you buy a book, it's just about motivation, or just about discipline, or just about will, or just about the 5 people around you. Everybody thought that these were 4 separate elements. What I discovered is that these 4 elements are actually one. It's one element. So the only thing I discovered and invented is the 4 principles that everybody thought they were their own core thing. It was not. It was one. That's why people who are motivated still burn out, because they had no discipline. That's why maybe disciplined people with some things, they were motivated, they went to the gym, they were disciplined, and they still were not successful in life because they lacked willpower, or vice versa, or they didn't have the right people. So these are all interconnected. It's one principle. It's not 4 separate principles. It's one. You cannot fix it without doing all 4. So if you just fix motivation, in the end, the result is going to be the same. It's maybe you're going to have some temporary success, but the result is, again, it's going to crash. So that was my discovery. My discovery was that it was one thing. It was not that I figured out this something new formula. No, I already had key principles and I just made it one.
So instead of buying 4 books with, I don't know, 100 euros, you can buy only 1 book with, I don't know, 25 maybe, that have everything there.
Yes, rather buy a book, because life is a multivariate equation. In life, you don't solve life with just money or wealth or looking good. No, it's multiple things you need to solve. Once you come to the realization that is the case, then you can start building your life. That is the truth you need to accept, that life is a multivariate equation. Once you can accept that truth, you understand that these 4 principles are one. That is it.
You know what I realize now? After you have this motivation, after you go through this whole process, the fun just begins, because you know where you want to be.
Yes, he understands. I'm so glad, God.
But you don't know how you will get there, and you don't know where you are going to arrive actually, because you have an idea, but in reality it's another idea, and probably it's more satisfied than what you have before, what you think about originally.
And that's why, Rares, I say this will give you at least 25% upgrade in your life. At least. Some of my students went from 0 to 8K a month. That's more than they could ever dreamed about, right? Yeah. But they did it on their own. I just told them where to look. Okay, first fix your motivation. That's it. And the rest they did on their own, because then they're like, what the f? I can actually do this. What you need to prove when you want this to happen, you need to prove people it can be done. That's not about the amount of the 10K. You prove them that the method can give you 200 euros. Now you have proof of concept. That's all you need. Yeah. And if you put more effort in it, that 200 can also be 10K or 8K.
A guideline and action.
That's it. That's just the guideline. I'm unmotivated. Okay, I lack dopamine. Okay, what do I need to do? Okay, I stimulate the ability to learn. Okay, let me learn chess. Dopamine goes up. Okay, motivation soft. Okay, I've noticed I'm learning things, but I don't feel good. I don't have will to fight. Okay, I need testosterone. How do I get it? Okay, let's go to the gym. That doesn't cost anything to run in the park or pull up, or that doesn't cost any money.
It's for free.
For free. You can play chess in a library or go in the library, or read a book or whatever. It's for free. Motivation is free.
On the internet.
In the internet, motivation is for free. Even if you don't have money for internet, you can still get it.
Yeah.
Even still.
You go at a coffee shop, you have Wi-Fi.
Bro, even if you don't have a phone, you can go to the library, read a book. So it's fixable. Okay, I'm motivated, but I still have no money in the bank left. Okay, maybe it's time for a good doses of fear. Let me go watch David Goggins. Let me go watch Tony Robbins. Let me go watch all these that tell me straight in my face what a piece of shit I am.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now I'm disciplined, right? So you can fix that. Okay, man, I don't know who I am. So now they know. Okay, you can analyze yourself. What we're doing right now. This is what I wanted. This is what I want to do with you. This is the real reason why I asked you on this podcast. Is this question? What I want to do, Rares, I want to ask you here live on camera, this is the surprise, to create with me an assessment tool for MDW5. So I'm low in testosterone. Okay, how can I fix that? How can I give myself a score? from 0 to a 10? And how can I, from that, then make my own plan to build my life? To create an assessment test with them. To what is their score for MDW5? Okay, I only have low testosterone, I miss this, I miss that. So they know exactly what they need to fix their life. What do you think of that?
It's very nice, interesting.
And based on that assessment test, you can use that to obviously create your program for your personal program for your client and basically everybody. Assessment test, that's what I wanted to ask your help for.
Yeah, it can work because in a team you need these things. And when you get them, you can actually prove there after, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks of learning and actioning, you actually see the result.
Yes, and the thing is, you talk with people on a daily basis, right? So you already are observing all the time. So you can understand. Okay, let's begin. Okay, let's see. Let's look at the body shape. Hey, there are a lot of things you can see from that. If we can assess something, now we can fix a problem, right? Because it's not that MDW5 stands for that nobody can do anything in that sense, in the sense of, okay, I'm stupid or whatever. Or no, a lot of people are maybe already motivated, right? They don't need motivation, but they need discipline. Or they already have 2 answers of willpower answered, but the third one they can get. It's not that people have nothing, right? You just need to figure out which of the sections you need to fix. Once you fix all of them, you get them in a straight line. That's when this whole train starts.
Yeah, it's a complex idea.
But complex ideas are interesting.
Interesting, and I think it works.
All right.
Works, yeah.
Awesome. I do want to get to more last part because this is I just want to talk to you about your progress. So we talked a little bit about it. You've changed your team. You've changed everything. What are now we're now a year further. What are your personal goals for the upcoming year?
For upcoming year, I can say because it's just a short term, you know? It's a short term, you don't know actually what will gonna happen. But for long term, like 10 years from now, 15 years from now, I wanna build some connections. I wanna build a structure, think about the tree. A structure with a lot of men and women which give value in their own way. Like, I'm the owner, I go into a company and they say, okay, Rares, we need something on finances. We need someone very, very good on finances. Bring me one. And I have that man. We need something very good on relationships. Okay, I'm that man. We need something very good on motivation and discipline. You can be the one, you know. I want to build a structure in companies when everyone can give something what they are very good at. And the people from that company receiving exactly what they need. Not from one guy which says, all right, so I'm good on relationships, finances, cutting trees, making paper, I don't know, you know. And I want to build this because in Romania we are very low here. We don't actually know what to invest in to grow our team. We don't actually know what they actually need. And we came one guy because it's cheaper. That's the truth. Which can do everything, you know. All right. This guy, I gave him 500 euros for one full amount. He will teach us everything. And after that one full amount, you are, oh shit, my money are lost.
It's not gonna work like that.
It's not gonna work. So this structure in all the country can help every company to get actually what they reach of.
Yeah, so you want to create a system where you target specific problems within specific companies with a specific skill set.
Exactly. Like in two words, nice. In 2 words, the solution for everything they need in particular.
The last word is very, very in particular. That's very important in that. Okay, that's pretty nice. Now I understand your steps towards your academy and your website. Now I really understand that. Mm-hmm. Now it makes sense.
It makes sense, right?
Now it makes sense. It makes sense because you can only do that under your own flag. It's gonna be hard to do that under somebody else's like name or brand because it's already in their own thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's another business.
It's another business. Yeah, you would need to create it. That's nice. That's nice. And what will be for you the biggest challenges to get to that point? You think personally? What will be one of the biggest?
You know, I'm young. And to prove myself, it's a very rough because I don't actually get all the time the opportunity to show my value. And I think the biggest part is to get into companies, to have like 10 companies which I work with constantly, and today they too said, all right, we trust Rares, we can recommend Rares, we can build something along this relationship with Rares. I think that's the hardest part.
So it's just getting your foot in the door.
Yeah.
Once you get your foot in the door, you can do your thing.
For sure.
All right. But we can solve that, right?
Yeah, for sure. I don't have emotions. It's only about time. It's only about time. I'm already into a company. I'm very well respected there. And I don't think that in the next 2 or 3 years, I can't be in another 5. I'm sure I'm going to be there. I'm very sure.
Yeah, that's what, listen, I always say this. If you're going to do it, just say it, you know? Always there are people that are very, very apologetic about their goals. I hope that someday I might. Just say it, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get there in 5 years. Yeah, just say it. I don't care. Okay, fine. That's good. You put it out there, right? That's good. That's good. That's also fear because now you said it. You know, you need to go do it.
It's a challenge.
That was a challenge.
I told these people I'm gonna do it. I have to do it.
You have to do it. No, yeah, you can't go back. Yeah, exactly. You cannot go back, but that's the good part. It's a good part. Okay, I like that. That's one of the biggest challenges. So is that also like because of your age, maybe 25 indeed, that they don't think you maybe have that big of a track record yet? Is that mainly the reason?
And they have their reasons because in Romania we have a lot of trainers which are good, but they are after 40, and we have a lot of bad trainers which probably are 30, 20, and they don't actually know what they are doing. They're just trying, you know. But I don't want to say I'm better than the others or something, but I really have results. I just tested for free for 6 months and actually between 6 months and one year for free my services just to see how people react, how people grow. And the results were actually amazed.
Tell me something about it. What amazed you the most about those results?
Like, let's see, Coaching 101. It was my first project. It was not for free, but very cheap. Just a few money for that man to remain involved, you know?
Yeah.
And he was like in depression. He was, oh my God, I really don't know what to do with my life. He came to me, I was director at sales that time, and he said, Rares, you're doing very well. You have just 23. It was 2 years ago. You are just 23. Tell me, what's your secret, man? What you are doing? I'm fucking lost, you know? Yeah. And I said, I don't know, but I will try to help you. Yeah. Let's see, let's try. And long story short, after 1 year and 2 months, something like that, from 500 euros a month, he's now a very well-respected entrepreneur in the gym. He's a trainer in the gym. He looks very well, like 20 kilos lost.
Whoa.
In 1 year. He's in a very good shape because his dream, it was to be a trainer in the gym. He now have like 2,000 euros a month, something like that.
Wow, and he trains people.
Yeah.
Because he's an expert in losing weight himself.
In losing weight, yeah.
Yeah, so he knows there's a good product. He's a product of the product.
Yeah, he's the example.
He is the product. Wow, that's amazing. Well, that's great. That's great.
And something, let's not go on the career, because on career, for me, it's very easy, but go on relationships. That was very difficult at first, because to actually change your relationships is very hard.
It's very
because you have to change something on yourself. I had a director of a foundation which helped people with disabilities. She was very harmed in her past, and she was very unsocial with the other people, with colleagues, and the colleagues, it was mean to her. It was a complicated situation, and she said, I can't go to work anymore because I can't suffer them. I can't suffer myself, because I realized, okay, it's their problem with me, it's actually my problem. I got to change something. And now she's after I think 2 months of collaboration, but into a course, not one-on-one.
Okay.
It was like 10 people there.
Okay.
You know, and she changed because she actually put in action everything I told her to do.
Wow, that's unique. Normally that doesn't happen.
Yeah, because she had the motivation, man. She really wanted to change that. And after 2 months, she was like, I'm very relaxed because people now like me.
That's a new side for her, right?
That's very strange. People like me. People give me good grades.
Oh my God.
People listen to me. I listen to them. That's strange, but I like it. I'm a much better person now. Thank you, Rares.
That's great. But for you, that must also be a great feeling. That
For me, it's amazing. It's fucking unbelievable.
yeah, I can imagine. For me, I never get used to it. When I see somebody who was nothing or whatever the problem was that the person was, and it's then really solved and they really get to that next level, there's no greater feeling than that to me.
No.
It's like that's my drugs, basically. If people say what drugs, that's my drugs. I just can't get enough of that feeling.
In that year, when I give for free my services, that was the main reason, because this feeling when you give value to someone and that someone actually changed his life, it's something like,
Yeah.
if I will have won to Lotto, I don't think it was that worthy, you know? It's something like that. It's hard for people to understand, but
Exactly.
in every services, I think that when you are changing a man's life,
Yeah.
the people's life,
Yeah.
you feel that
Exactly.
in every area.
Exactly. Awesome. No, awesome story. Hey, listen, we did some great stuff. Now we're going to do the fun stuff together. And I want you to do the honors today. So, guys, first to the camera, we're going to finish up with one thing, but we're going to finish it with something special. All right, so now we're getting to this last part. We changed the setting a little bit and we changed the scenery a little bit. We're going to do something special here today, which we have not done yet before. And it's going to be a first, especially for Romania, because this is the official opening of the FM Foundation. We have a formula now to build it, but now we need to also put your money where your mouth is what I always say. And that's what we're going to do now. We're going to put our money where our mouth is. And I would like to invite a guest now on the show. His name is, he's a young man. He's 24 years old, and his name is Alin. He's from Romania. And please come into the show. Hey, Alin, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You're motivated. You know you want to go somewhere, but it's
Yeah.
pretty hard to find out what you want in life, right?
Yep. Yes.
So you have been sitting behind the scenes here a little bit, hearing about the formula.
Yeah, the
What was your initial response, or what do you think in general about it?
It's something good. Yeah. You need someone to tell you the things you said. You need someone to be your mentor, and I want to say it's even though you are fuck up, you can always be great. You know, it's only about here. It's the belief. If you don't have the belief, you are nothing.
That's great. No, it's great you said it. And by the way, guys, I do want to say, listen, he's a 24-year-old man. Don't kill him if he's nervous or says something wrong, man. We all been in that place. I was also nervous the first time I was on the camera, so don't be dicks. I know YouTube comments are fucked up, but hey, you're an asshole too, bro. But just a small disclaimer for you. So, I heard your story a little bit about from Rares, and he told you really want to go somewhere, and we're gonna build this project here in Romania. So, as a sign of a gesture, I would like to help you figure out where you want to go.
Thank you.
And Rares want the same for you. So, we would like to donate you 500 euros. It's a small gesture. It's not something big. We would like to donate you 500 euros, which we will transfer to him, because we want to make sure that it's spent well. And together with Rares, whatever it may be, whatever you want to invest it in, whatever things would makes you more money and can get your life up front, I hope it will help you.
Yeah, it will help me.
In getting your goals to the next level. So let me shake your hand.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah.
This is for your...
Yeah, Rares, here, go, please say some things.
This is for everything you have tried, because Alin, actually, he tried 3 businesses. He was very good in it, but he didn't have the resources, or he didn't have luck, or health was a problem, which can be the biggest problem. And I'm sure that he's gonna do something interesting in life. This is just a gesture, but he's gonna do something very interesting in life.
Thank you once again. Thank you.
All right, all right. So just real small, 500 euros for Romanian people is about 2,500 lei, if I'm correct.
It's enough. It's salary, yeah. You can do a lot with it.
All right, that's good. I'm fantastic. I hope you have a, and know that this will be tracking your progress for the next 10 years. That is always our requirement here for the show, guys. So it's not, guys, that we're just going to give money to random people. No, there are requirements, and the requirements are that, we want to know how it goes after this. So we'll follow you up. In a year, we would love to know, to have you on here again. Please come tell your story again, what it did for you, and just we would like to stay in touch with you over time and see where you stand. And hopefully you can be the one in the future that can give the money to somebody who needs it like you. I hope we can get to that place.
Of course, yeah.
Do you have any message you would like to give or tell? Do you have anything?
Yeah, I will do it. Yeah, I will do it. And I will make you proud. Yeah.
That's good, man. Let's shake hands. All right. Thank you for your time. All right. That was Alin, guys. And we're not done. We actually have a second person here. And this is a very special moment, because I never thought it would happen like this. But I'm going to give this one solely to the person left to me, because this is actually Rares' younger brother. His name is Dennis. He's 18 years old, and he's still in his last year of high school, and he's actually trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life. And 18 years old, as you all know, is a very difficult age. Hormones, he thinks he knows everything better, and tried to compete with the bigger brother, but he's still a young kid, But those are all fun brotherly jokes, guys. But he also is in a situation, obviously, where he wants to get further. And when you have a big brother like that, yeah, obviously that's going to help, but he still needs to be his own guy. So I would like to get to the stage. Dennis Moldovan. Dennis, hello. I'm going to give my mic to you, and I'm going to give the honors of the process. Please, Rares, could you just, obviously, first you introduce yourself a little bit once I give you the mic, and after that, Rares, please, you take over and you tell a little bit about him and why that money is going to help him.
All right. Hi, I'm Dennis. I'm 18. I'm at high school last year, and I came here out of curiosity. Like, I don't know what am I doing.
Wait, Rares, the mic. One question for him. Can I get the mic? One question for you. What did you think about what you were also behind the scenes like Ali, and you heard some of the things Rares, your brother, and me discussed. What was your general impression about that?
It was very nice. You make good points, and I think that this podcast is gonna help a lot of people in their life.
I feel very humbled and honored by that you say that, because you want to know why this message was made for you guys, for your...
Like, I listened totally 2 hours and like 30 minutes. Like
2 hours, man?
Yes.
Our conversations always go like that, Rares, always.
I didn't even realize it.
All right, that is a good thing. I think you're right. Okay, then now for the moment, I'll give the mic to your brother and let him do his job.
Thank you, Fey. Man, what I can say, I'm not gonna say a history about us because we don't have time, but I think this little gift will help you to just give you the motivation you need to think that you are actually better. You are a better man. You can do more than you think now. I think that you've been through some rough times. Okay, what can I do with my life? How can I be great? How can I be what I want? My parent wants. How can I be something? And you only need the motivation, discipline, because the skills you have, and you will teach them. So I think you really deserved it. Congrats.
Thank you, bro.
All right, man. Awesome.
You make me emotional. I swear.
Love to see this.
Yes.
Man, oh man.
I really appreciate it.
No. Hey, listen. I love to see this moment. You know, when brothers help each other. It's a beautiful thing, guys. I really hope that this can be an example for many. This is the first edition we're going to do in Romania. If you're a young guy, or if you're 24, 25, 30, and looking out there, know that there is a movement now in Romania that cares about you guys. We're not big yet. We're starting something, but we need to do it with each other. I cannot do this alone. We need to do this together, and we will do this together. And if it's not now, then when? If it's not you, then who? And if we don't come into action and take our responsibility, what will happen? It is a difficult time. We're going through technological and social evolution. And it's up to us men who have already achieved something, or men who are in the progress of achieving something. It's up to us to take responsibility, because in the end, my daughter or my son is also going to marry in this society and have a guy or a female, whatever it may be. And the problem with that is if we don't teach the young men now responsibility in this life, in the end, they will be the criminals of tomorrow. So it's up to us to take responsibility to make sure that doesn't happen. We're now here in Romania, and we're not going away. And if you think we're going to stop, no, we're not going to stop. Will it maybe take longer than we want to? Sure, it might be. But if it was easy, everybody would do it. And there's one word that's not in my vocabulary. I don't lose, and I don't like to lose. So we're not going to lose. It's as simple as that. We're going to keep pushing until it gets done. The concept of winners and losers, I don't know that. You want to know why? Because the only thing I know is just getting things done, regardless of how I feel. And that's what we're all about here. I'm going to thank you all for your time. It was an honor to do this. I really feel very humbled. And see you guys next time. Peace.
Scared men don't win.